And now News Talk 1250 KBRF presents Super Sports Saturday live from the Minnesota Motor Company. A breakfast by Taco John's. Brought to you by Thunder Seed, Olson Oil Card Express, the Fergus Falls School District, Taco John's, Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Service Food, Lake Region Healthcare, American Legion Post 30, LB Homes, and by the Minnesota Motor Company. Let's go live to the Minnesota Motor Company and Craig Olson.
Well, thank you, David Bishop. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company, our Super Sports Saturday conversation with coaches from Fergus Falls and Hillcrest Lutheran Academy as we wind down the winter season. Thanks to Taco John's for getting us going, fueling the fire here for a Saturday with a great breakfast. I had my potato allay scrambler, and there's an extra one this week because Matt Johnson's not here with us. Matt's, if he's awake and it's winter season, he's probably in a gym somewhere, and he is this morning. Matt, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for letting me call in.
Hey, you're a busy guy. You're, what is it, fourth grade boys today?
Detroit Lakes fourth grade this morning. We got an 8 a.m. tip, and then sixth graders go this afternoon. So we'll be in DL all day, and then scramble back to watch the girls play tonight.
Wow, that's the way it is this time of year. It's basketball all the time, it seems, for a few more weeks, hopefully. And the Otters had a busy week, too. You had 3 games this past week as you lead into the postseason. Last night you got the win that got you back up to that 500 mark at 13-13. How do you feel, Matt, as you're heading into next week, into the first round of the playoffs, about the way your team is performing right now?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think we, the entire season we talked about growth and the trajectory of trying to play our best basketball at the end of the season, and I really feel like that we've gotten to that point where offensively we're able to have a game plan, figure out what kind of shots we're trying to get, what we need to do offensively, and our kids are able to put that into play. I think our zone offense has come a long ways. Right now, that's something I think is a strength of ours. Last night we saw junk defense. Our kids were able to adjust and handle that quite well. And so it's fun to see that growth. And then defensively, when we dial in, have defended really well all year. And that consistency has improved and increased. And so, yeah, heading into playoffs, it's an exciting time, and it'll be fun to see what we can do. Looking forward to figuring out our exact matchups. I think I know what we're going to see, but nothing official has been posted yet.
Yeah, that takes place today and tomorrow, the seating in different sections. And, yeah, the way it looks, you're going to host Rocori, but, again, with the QRF, we're always like, I don't know what's going to happen, but it'll be a familiar team.
I'd be shocked at this point if it's not Rocori at our place. But until we know for sure, we haven't put together a game plan yet. But yeah, we'll work hard this weekend once we figure that out to figure out what we need to do. It'll be a quick turnaround with only Monday's practice before we play. So as coaches, we'll get together this weekend and try to iron out a game plan. When you're playing a conference team that you've seen twice this year, have a ton of film on them, have a lot of stats on them, you have a really good idea of what you're getting into, so you can put together a pretty good plan. There aren't a lot of surprises at this point. There might be little tweaks and changes, but ultimately, you know the product you're going to see, and your opponents do too, and it's going to be who can play their better game on that night is really what's going to determine it.
You started this last week with back-to-backs. Monday, you went to St. Cloud Tech and played a Tech team that has, the top scorer in the state, Cameron Ferguson. He averages over 36 points a game, I think it is, and you did okay on him in the first half, and he kind of took over in that second half, didn't he?
Yeah, he's really, I would say, this is going to sound a little silly, I would say he's an average shooter. He's a high-volume guy, can really get to the rim. He can really elevate and score at mid-range. He shoots free throws at a high clip, and he gets there often. But he's not necessarily a lights-out three-point shooter. And he got going from 3 in the second half, and on a night when he finds that, then he becomes really, really hard to guard. And he hit back-to-back threes, and then that got them rolling a little bit. And at that point, you got to pick your poison a little. You're going to run him off the 3-point line and let him get into the paint where he's most dangerous. You try to get the ball out of his hands, but that's easier said than done when he's a supreme athlete and a really good basketball player. So yeah, he hurt us a little bit. Felt like a game we let slip away. One that we really kind of we're in pretty good control of, and understanding that each possession matters, and sometimes one possession can build momentum for the other team to get rolling. And thought we saw that a little bit. But good lessons for our guys, right? Good things to show on film and to talk about heading into the playoffs. That when we're in this spot again, and there's a high likelihood that we'll be in a dogfight down the stretch, how to execute a little bit better. That might make the difference in the game.
Well, this is one of those arguments for the shot clock, right? If you're Tech, you're down 42-27, and you need some help to get back into that game. And when you only get the ball, there's the opponent 35 seconds at a time, there's an opportunity there. And I guess that, to me, I look at the shot clock as not having made a huge impact on the outcome of a lot of games, but this was one of those games where that was an advantage for Tech.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, right? I don't want guys or teams to stop playing and trying to hold the ball for 2 minutes at a possession, and I think the game's better because of the shot clock. And I thought, you mentioned the shot clock, and even 35 seconds is a long possession, generally speaking, and I thought we didn't probably utilize that as best we could. I thought we took some quick ones early, and some of that is understanding momentum, right, and having that. It's where when you have a senior point guard that's been through it a lot, you tend to have a team that will recalibrate a little bit when that happens, and I thought we didn't adjust to that. We didn't feel that momentum starting to slip, and we didn't take control of it and really have the quality of possessions that we would need. But again, all comes back to learning and growing, and that's an opportunity to do it. And I'd rather have it happen on Monday night in Tech than in the playoffs on Tuesday against Ricori.
There you go. Yeah, 65-62, the final in that one is Tech got the win. But then you bounced back strong, and Wahpeton had a good win, a 52-45 road win there. And Ryan Hurst, in talking with Jason Retzoff, who covered the game for us, he said what a rim protector he was that night, and that was one of the keys.
Yeah, Ryan's been terrific. I mean, I couldn't tell you for sure, but I would guess in the last 10, 12 games, he's averaging probably somewhere in the ballpark of 20 and 10. And then you throw in 3, 4, 5 blocks a night, and he absolutely has a huge impact on the game. It's really been fun to watch his growth, his maturity, and his improvement. But yeah, he defensively gives us something on the back end that we don't have to be perfect. We can be a little more aggressive on the perimeter, knowing that you have him on the back end, and it's primarily him, but it's not just him. Luke Pearson had a couple last night in our game where he just elevates, stays vertical, and jumps higher than people think he's going to. He's long, good athleticism. Levi King's another one on the back end that can be a rim protector. So it's been fun to see our guys develop that part of their game.
Last night after getting that win against WAP, you got to go over to Roosevelt and play last night, and against Wilmer, and Ryan continued his good play. He had 22 points. I'm not sure what the rebound numbers were. Maybe you have that handy.
Yeah, I think he was at 9. Yep.
Okay.
He had 22 and 9 last night.
But again, what really impressed me, and what has impressed me a lot over the last several times I've seen you, is the energy you're getting off the bench. I mean, guys that come in, Levi King came in and gave you some outstanding minutes off the bench in that game last night and earlier this week against Wahpeton too, and against Tech.
It's really fun. Those guys come off the bench. You can call them role guys, but I would tell you that they could start for us and you wouldn't notice a difference. And some nights we might even look better. I feel like we have 7, 8 kids that we want in the rotation, and we haven't tweaked starting lineups because I feel like we've had quality starts 2 games for the most parts. But yeah, there's been a lot of nights and it's like, man, should we have Levi King in the starting lineup? He's playing so well, gives us such good activity. Man, Luke Pearson's shooting it better than anybody we have. Should he be in the starting lineup? And those conversations happen a lot. and we haven't tweaked it. But the spark that those two especially provide off the bench, there's a lot of nights that we get better at the 14-minute mark when we go to the bench, and that's not a knock on our starters, but those guys off the bench are giving us such energy, such production that it impacts the game in such a positive way. It's been really fun to have them in that role.
72-46, the final in that one last night. So your first round playoff game is it Tuesday or Thursday?
It is Tuesday, and I believe it's an 8:05 start. I think it's a primary night, and so I don't think the games can start until 8 o'clock. So I think we're scheduled for an 8:05 start. Nothing official, but I believe that game is going to be played at Roosevelt.
Okay. Very good, Matt. Well, enjoy your 4th grade and 6th grade basketball today over in Detroit Lakes and the Otter girls tonight, and we'll look forward to covering your game on Tuesday night.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Craig.
Matt Johnson, head boys basketball coach at Fergus Falls. By the way, tonight's Otter girls basketball playoff game against Wilmer is at Roosevelt. It's at the Roosevelt Gym. That is at 7 o'clock this evening for that one. All right, we'll take a time out. We're going to talk Otter boys hockey. Assistant coach Peter Johnson is with us. We'll do it on the other side of the break. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company here on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
At Thunderseed, we've spent over 4 generations developing the best products for dealers and growers across the region. Success requires a partner who is as committed to the full cycle of your growing season as you are. Call 1-888-6-THUNDER to learn more about our premier partner financing today. Thunderseed, first in the field, family-owned, and farmers first.
Ole, ole, ole. And now we sing, but first we taco. Taco John's fresh burritos are bigger, their seasoned beef tacos are bolder, and crispy potato olays are better. Maestro! Taco John's!
Nothing is simpler than taking your love for meat and your love for potato olays and rolling them together in a burrito from Taco John's.
Fergus Falls School District 544 serves students in West Central Minnesota and is committed to excellence. They offer a multitude of opportunities both inside and outside the classroom. They give students cutting-edge 21st century employability and a whole lot more. The Fergus Falls School District strives to make sure there's a personal connection with every student that comes through their door. They are committed to their teams and are proud to be the Otters. Fergus Falls School District number 544.
Go Otters!
Look around and tell me what you see. Chances are you see homes, schools, churches, and local businesses. And what you're seeing is the community. And what continues to make it great are the people. For 3 generations, Olson Oil Company has been a strong member of the community, providing scholarships for youth or contributing to local charity events, because this is what locally owned businesses do. Olson Oil Company, with locations in Fergus Falls, Underwood, Elizabeth, Fergus, Perham, Richville, and West Fargo.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Motor Company. Taco John's feeding us breakfast today, as they do every Saturday. By the way, next Saturday will be our final program of the winter season, and this will be our final boys hockey conversation of the winter season, as the Otters saw their season come to an end last Saturday. Northern Lakes beat them 7-3 in the section semifinals, and Peter Johnson is with us. Peter's an assistant coach, the JV coach, one of the JV coaches with the Otters, and he drew the short straw and is talking to us today, right?
Oh, no, and I'm glad to come help out. Yeah, other guys are out of town this morning.
No, I'm just kidding. But Peter's been on a lot this year between periods talking about the JV, and I was just asking him how many seniors on this team, and it is a heavy group of seniors that you're going to be losing to graduation.
Yeah, we were kind of going through the numbers there the other night after some of our exit meetings, and I think kind of the count is we'll have 3 forwards coming back, and then 2D we're kind of looking at. So, trying to fill, another 6 forward spots, then another 2 or 3, defenseman spots is going to be a pretty tall task.
And a goalie spot.
Yep, and both our goalies this year that played rotated quite often, 2 senior goalies. So, that'll be interesting. We got Holden Stenstrom will be a junior next year, and then Gabe Samuelson will be a senior next year. So it'll kind of be between those two for that starting spot next year, which would be fun to see them compete.
Yeah, on the one hand, you got a lot of holes, but on the other hand, it's a lot of opportunity, right, for some of the young guys.
Yeah, there is. It's good. We'll have a pretty decent-sized group. I think we lose about 12 or 13 seniors, and I believe there's about that many coming in, which is a really fortunate thing. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of opportunity for those young guys and just get a lot of minutes, and hopefully we can just be able to plug them in good situations and hopefully improve a lot.
Well, and you always wonder, how are the guys coming off the Bantam team, how are they going to fit in? I imagine most of them will start with JV experience and maybe a little look at varsity, but again, that's where you as JV coaches, you and Tostin Mann, are working with those guys, trying to prepare them for the opportunity they get to go up to varsity. We might see some of that next year.
Yeah, I think we will. We worked a lot with our guys, a lot on skating and passing, kind of going back to the basics and just getting these guys caught up to the varsity speed. Hopefully, we'll have a couple guys off our JV team that I think will play pretty big roles next year. And then, like you said, we have a few guys coming up from Bantams that should be able to get quite a few minutes too. Depending on how things go with their summers and tryouts.
Northern Lakes got you last Saturday 7-3 in that final game in the playoffs. Not the way you thought it would play out, I'm sure. Kind of a frustrating end. But Northern Lakes, I think more than anything, what that says, Peter, is their program has really come advanced a long way, and they are a team to be reckoned with right now.
Yeah, they really are, and it was kind of a surprise almost to me in Tostin being gone for a few years and then coming back.
Right.
When we played Northern Lakes, it was little more of a point game or easier game, but now they've changed a ton, and they also have ice in the summer, and I think that's really helped their program a lot. And just a lot of connections up there with Brainerd too and stuff. So kind of a hockey area now.
Yeah, you bring a good point out there. That summer ice is great, and we had summer ice here. And did you have summer ice when you were playing here?
No, we never did. Yep.
So that's going to be something that over time will, I think, help the Otter program for sure.
I think it really will over time, and we're kind of honing in, especially this summer. It's been 2 summers now we've had it, and I think this third time around here we're really starting to hone in on what the guys need. Taking it serious and skating-wise, and working on those skills and stuff, and then come season work on more of the systems and flow stuff. So, we're looking to have a good summer this year.
Let's go back to that Northern Lakes game for a minute here. They led 5-1 after 2 periods, kind of got that lead with a good second period. They even scored a shorthanded goal, and hard to come back. Even at home it's hard to come back, but you get on the road or a neutral arena trying to come back in a playoff game. But where did you feel Northern Lakes hurt you the most in that game?
Oh, I think, let's see, that game, I think maybe just their depth and then just their compete. They really were on pucks and really moving their feet on their forecheck, and that's kind of what ended up hurting us there on. They got a shorthanded goal, just their feet speed and just catching up to our guy and just grabbing the puck. And it's not like we didn't compete hard, but they just had that one extra gear that we just couldn't handle for the night.
Your goals came from Aiden Shakey and Sam Dirkman and Michael Schmidt. So they, I don't know, were they paying special attention to Kellen Stenstrom that night? Because, word's gotten out he's the scorer.
Yeah. We would be silly to have this interview and not mention his name
exactly
throughout the year. 26 goals on the year. Not points, that's goals. And Aiden Shakey just had a good goal. He was going hard to the net and working hard there. And, like you said, Sam Dirkman scored and Michael Schmidt. And I think that just kind of shows how honed in, like you said, they really were on our top line. We've had pretty top-heavy points this year. With that line playing real well, but they had a couple guys that could match, and that's kind of where I'm saying that depth piece kind of came into play, and they were able to get us with their other lines.
Gavin Gepford had a couple assists in that game for you. That was good to see.
Yeah, he did. One of his better games all year, which we felt really good with, and also Griffin Babolian, great game. That green line, that second line was really skating hard. And it's not like the first line wasn't skating hard, but I think they were just so bottlenecked with how they were defending them that night.
Yeah, I'm sure that was part of their big game plan. We got to not let that first line hurt us.
Yep, that's no secret. You can look at Hockey Hub and look at the points, and you see where a lot of our goals came from.
Jack Weldy assisted on that goal by Michael Schmidt, and Jack was one of those guys that, he gave you some really good games, really clutch goals, and it just seems to thrive on that clutch situation.
Yeah, he does. He's a junior this year too, so he'll be coming back next year, which is really huge for us. And he can really skate and move the puck around. And we're looking forward to hopefully having a good summer with him and just really coming around and having a huge role next year.
Any of the seniors, Peter, looking at playing beyond this year?
Yeah, Kellen Stenstrom, he signed a tender with the Alexandria Blizzard, North American 3 Hockey League, and then Leighton Buckmeyer's looking at playing, and also a goalie, Tim Nansen, he's kind of trying to decide right now and look for options and teams and stuff if he'll keep playing. So I think that's the only 3 this year.
Well, the Otters have had a number of players, yourself included, who went on and played at the next level, your juniors or collegiately. A lot of junior opportunities out there, and Fergus has kind of built a pretty good tradition here in recent years of players who are able to step in and help a team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want it, you can go get it and do it. It just takes a lot of work on your own too and stuff apart from the rink. And it's very true. We've had a few good players here in the past, and I think the big thing for us is just piecing a few of those together really to make that state tournament run. Yeah,
right, exactly. And tough section, of course, for the Otters. And
it doesn't get easy.
Some heartbreakers through the years that we don't want to go into today. But
no.
Peter, thanks for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for doing this, Craig.
You bet. Take care. Peter Johnson, assistant coach to Mike Donahue for the Otter boys hockey team. Otters end season 9-18 with that loss to Northern Lakes last week. All right, time out here, and we're going to talk Otter girls basketball on the other side of the break as the playoffs are underway. Otter girls have a win in the playoffs and a home game tonight at Roosevelt. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break with Josh Steer. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
While most everyone in Fergus Falls is sound asleep, the bakers at Service Food Market are busy making delicious baked goods and breads. So when you're ready to get out of bed in the morning, the shelves and the showcases at the Service Food Bakery Department are waiting for you with all your favorites: donuts, muffins, pies, cakes, and breads. In a hurry? Call ahead and your orders will be ready to go. Service Food Market, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
If you're in the mood for some good home cooking, you're in the mood for a delicious homemade meal from American Legion in Fergus Falls. Anytime's a great time to enjoy the Legion's famous barbecued ribs, cheesy potatoes, homemade soups, salads, and desserts. Enjoy takeout or dine in. American Legion in Fergus Falls is open each Wednesday through Saturday. Takeout begins at 11 Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock Saturday. Dine in Wednesday through Saturday starting at 3. American Legion Fergus Falls, a great place to fill up on homemade favorites.
Charlie Ugstead for Ugstead Plumbing and Heating of Fergus Falls. When you spend a lot of time in your home, you want to take steps to make it healthier. Carrier has innovative products to help improve indoor air quality, like the Infinity Air Purifier with an advanced filter that can capture and kill select viruses and bacteria. Learn about the science and its impact on coronavirus at carrier.com/purifier. Visit Ugstead Plumbing and Heating of Fergus Falls. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Total comfort for your home.
Now is a great time to get down to Minnesota Motor Company and drive away in your new ride. Their inventory is building, and many vehicles come with closeout pricing or great finance offers like 0.9% APR for 36 months on 2023 Buick Envisions or trade-in assistance rebates on most Chevy Silverado trucks. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls. Back at the Minnesota Motor Company, where the morning just flies, and here's Josh Steer, the head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Craig. How are you?
I'm well. Good big game today. Got Wilmer coming in tonight for the semifinal round of the 8-3A playoffs, and just great to have two home games in the playoffs, Josh. That's really a bonus.
Yeah, the girls at the beginning of the year, we set some goals, some team goals. They wanted to host a playoff game, and then as you get into the season, you can kind of change your goals up a little bit, and we kind of set our sights on, well, let's be the 2 seed because we're right there anyway. So let's up our goal a little bit, because then we can get 2 home playoff games. And when we went down to Wilmer in the middle of February, we knew what was on the line when we went down there, and we knew whatever team won that game was going to be the 2 seed. And really doesn't change a whole lot as far as first round matchups, because you're playing the 6 or the 7. But then the second round, which way do you want to travel? Do you want to go south, or do you want them to come to us? And and the girls responded really well to that. And for us to get 2 home playoff games is really awesome. It's amazing, because now we get to play in front of the maroon and gold faithful and at Roosevelt. So we're going to be at Roosevelt tonight, and we want to pack that sucker up, man. It was an amazing atmosphere last night at the boys' game. I thought it gets so loud in there with. I feel like you can just have a few people in there and it can get loud real quick. So, but let's pack that thing up to the rafters tonight.
Absolutely. That'll be a fun night for sure. Let's look at your quarterfinal round game. We've seen this before. You had a really good first half, and you had a 27-11 halftime lead. And then St. Cloud, I don't know what they did in the locker room, if they had some Wheaties in there and they got recharged, but they played much more aggressively, I thought, and brought it right to you in the second half. Now, you were able to withstand that, of course, and get the win, but they didn't make it easy for you.
No, absolutely not. And with a team like St. Cloud coming up here, they only had 3 wins on the season, but they've been in a lot of games. They've been really competitive all year, and they have a couple of players that are really solid basketball players. Jana Benson, she really took control, I thought, in the second half, and got it really downhill and aggressive and attacked hard, and she's just a really good player, and she's a senior, so she knows when she goes into halftime that we either got to get going or the season's going to be over, and my high school basketball career is going to be over. So you could definitely tell in the second half she came out with a different edge, a little different attitude, and it showed up on the score sheet because she scored a lot of second half points. But yeah, we did too. Bryn answered kind of that call in the second half, and we struggled a little bit with their triangle and 2 action at times. Something we haven't seen yet this year. That's the one defense we really hadn't seen, and they threw it at us. So kudos to them for trying something different, because they tried a box and won the first 2 times and it didn't work. So they switched things up on us. But we withstood the run in the second half, and we had some timely buckets. And just like this team's true fashion, we let them get a little closer, and then let's maybe stop it a little bit. And we've had a couple of games go the other way where we haven't played well in the first half and we come back out in the second half. But for the most part, it's been kind of the same thing over and over.
What made the difference for Bryn from the first half to the second half? Because she was held to 2 points at halftime. You don't see that too often where she's shut down like that. And then she went off for 20.
Yeah, it was, I think the first half we had really good balance in the scoring sheet. Yep. And for us to be up 27-11 with her only scoring 2 points, we know we're sitting in a good spot, because as the game goes on, those defenders that are face guarding her and the defender that was face guarding Ruby, they're going to get fatigued and they're going to get a little bit tired. And then I thought we transitioned our offense pretty good, and we really rebounded well. So we gave ourselves some second chances, and when you do that, it's really hard to locate a shooter or locate a scorer in that scramble. So she found some space, and she got to the basket too a little bit and things like that. So she found different ways to score. But you talk about the story of the night, and I look at Bella Anderson's stat line, and she had 13 rebounds for us, and that's just, she came in with an energy on Thursday night that we needed, and that we've kind of been waiting for out of her all year.
Yeah, she got that Quality Player Award. I thought she was just a difference maker for you out there in that game.
Yeah, she was kind of our X factor, because you kind of expect some things from some kids, and but for her to come out and she got the start on Thursday night because of some matchups. We wanted to play some man right away, and she's a good post defender for their big. They've got a girl she's a state champion at Kenning. She was a state champion wrestler last year, and she's big. She's solid inside, and I think Bella did a great job defending her and keeping her off the glass.
Julia Hychek had 9 for you. Carly Hurst had 8, made 6 of 8 free throws, and they gave you great minutes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Julia Hychek, she hit a couple of big time threes for us, and that's what we expect from her. We want her to take those shots, but she can also get to the rim too. So. She's more than a capable scorer for us in that, upper single digits, or if we can get double digits out of her, that's great too. And then it's fun. And then Carly Hurst, she's really coming into her own, I think. As a freshman, she's performing really well. And I don't think the moment's ever too big for her. I think she just kind of has this mentality of, I'm just going to go play basketball. I have an opportunity to play basketball, and that's what I'm going to go do. And she's probably our best free throw shooter on the team by the statistical line. So she came in, and she's a really smart basketball player. She finds ways to get to the rim, and she finds ways to kind of find that seam in the defense and put herself in the right spot at the right time.
All right, key tonight against Wilmer.
36 minutes. We kind of been waiting for that 36-minute game, and we haven't found that consistency to I don't know if it's fatigue, I don't know what it is, but to withstand a 36-minute game. And they're going to come out tonight, and I think they're going to play their 3-2 zone, which is kind of their bread and butter. They might play some man. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy on us like we've seen in the past from some other teams, but they're really long, and they kind of sit in the passing lanes, and we're going to have to take care of the basketball. When we went down there and we won 41-39, our defense saved us there. And that's kind of been the theme of the year too. Our defense has played really well, but tonight we're going to have to take care of the basketball. We had 23 turnovers when we went down there the first time, or when we went down there a couple weeks ago. So we got to value the ball. We're going to have to rebound like crazy, give ourselves some second chance. And if they're going to sit in a 3-2 zone, we're going to have to knock down some shots from the outside too. So, it's going to be an exciting night. It's March Madness. It's playoff atmosphere, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it.
All right, Josh, good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
And that's at Roosevelt tonight, 7 o'clock for the Otters and Wilmer. We'll come back with more. We're going to talk with Randy Hansen, who's down at the University of Minnesota Aquatic Center with his Otter swimmers. Day 1 in the books at the state meet. We'll find out how it went on the other side of the break. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Life moves fast, but your connection shouldn't lag behind. At Park Region, we're not just an internet provider. We're your connection to the things that matter most. Whether it's streaming your favorite shows, video calls with loved ones, or conquering online challenges. Because in a world that's always on the move, your connection should keep pace. Choose fast, choose reliable, choose local. Choose Park Region. Visit our website at parkregion.com or call 218-998-2000. Park Region. Beyond the connection.
When you face a big decision or have a business problem to solve, you want an experienced banker, someone you know and can trust to help you reach your goals. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, ag and business banker Brian Wing has the knowledge and expertise to help you find the best solution. Expect a full review of your financial and a prompt decision made right here by your local American Federal banker, Brian Wing. American Federal Bank. Member FDIC.
At Woodland Lodge Assisted Living, you can receive the care that you need while also enjoying a comfortable room, scenic views, beautiful facility spaces, delicious meals, and a wonderful community. We make it our mission to provide Christ-centered, quality care. To explore what that care would look like for you or your loved ones, call 218-998-7404 or go to lbhomes.org to learn more or to set up a free tour of our facility. LB Homes, caring for you wherever you call home.
We are going to the Twin Cities by telephone. Randy Hansen down there with the Otter Boys swimmers at the State Class A meet. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. So the Otters there, 3 guys competing in 4 different events today, right, in the finals?
Yeah. It was a pretty good day, so we were pretty happy to get some guys qualified, and that's always what you want to go down for, right? To get somebody to swim on the next day and to get 4 guys into the consolation finals is pretty great.
Talk about Matthew Toole first, because he's going to compete in both the 200 and the 500, and he had a very good first day.
Yeah, that 200, we've kind of talked about that before and how just of a brutal of a race it is, because it's not a sprint and it's not a distance race, and it's kind of both at the same time, and it's just so hard, and it just hurts. And so he has to take it out hard, and he really did. His splits were really great, and he's sitting in a really nice spot, and I know he's motivated to drop some more time, and he was really focused yesterday. We could hardly get a word out of him before his events. He was just locked in tunnel vision, and and the 500 is really the one that he loves the most, and he's that 5-minute barrier has been a goal of his for a long time, and to come so close to it, within a second is awesome, and I know he's just going to be ripping for that today. So he's going to have some good competition to push him along to do that. So I really think he's got it in him, and it'll be fun to watch.
And Jaden Kopinski made it into the finals in the 200 IM. This is his second straight state meet, and he's only a freshman, Randy. This is huge for him, isn't it, to get to the final day of state? Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the medley relay that didn't qualify. He swam in that, and he qualified as an individual last year in the 200 IM and didn't make finals, and then to make finals, 16th, and not his best time, but definitely, gets the experience of being on the blocks for the final meet, and that's a big deal, and that can only help him when he gets older and is going to be one of the main leaders that we're going to need on this team in the next couple of years. So yeah, and I with only one event for him too, I really expect him to be dropping some time as well.
And Reese Hansen in the back, he was he seeded 10th, right?
Yeah, he had not his best time, but pretty darn close, and he really went for it. He was seeded I think 11th going in, I think, and so ended up 10th, and so he'll have a nice inside lane. The other guys are going to be on the outside just a little bit, but he's going to be right on the inside. And so really primed for, the guy sitting next to him. It's got probably a second or more on him right now, and that's going to really push him for his best time of the year too. So, that was always his goal too from the beginning of the year. We've have him fill out goal sheets, and what do you want to be? He says, I want to be a 55, and I want to swim top 16 in state, and he's got both of those now. So that's a great accomplishment for him, and so just to watch him meet his goals like that is just great.
He just missed out getting to the second day in the 100 fly, but you mentioned he had a great race.
Yeah, and that was going to be a long shot for him to get in there. But we wanted him to swim aggressive and swim pretty good splits, and he did that, and so he was feeling pretty good about it, and he knew that it was going to be pretty tough for him, and but he looked good. He got a good start. His splits were great, and so that's really what we wanted, because we knew backstroke was really what he was pushing for. So that was a good race, kind of a warm up for him, so to say, for the day for the backstroke.
Well, how about Logan Rott? Last week you were all excited. He qualified as a senior for state in the 100 breaststroke, and you go down there and you compete against the best swimmers in the state, and all Logan did was swim his lifetime best time in what will be his final race as an otter.
Yeah, and then that's like I said in the article, that's about all you can ask for. He wanted a 105, but to swim his best time ever, and he knew going in he was 21st, and you have to be top 16, and that was going to be a pretty tall order. But to swim your best time ever at the state meets in your last swim of your high school career is pretty awesome. So I'm super happy for him, and he'll be on deck. He does the cars for Matthew, so he'll get to be on deck one last time. But not swimming today. But and that's just what you want. You want the guys to go out on a positive, and he really did. So that was awesome too.
And you had your two relay teams down there, the medley relay and the 400 freestyle relay, the first and last events of the meet, and they were both competitive. But boy, what a deep, tough field that is for the relay events.
Yeah, the medley was going to be a little bit of a tough task. We added time, in that one, and that's, there's some nerves going on, and the guys are looking around and trying. They're not, awestruck or anything, but there's just a lot to digest, and they're pretty nervous, and so that went about how I thought it was going to go. We added some time and didn't make finals, which is, like I said, about what I thought was going to happen. And the 400 free relay, I thought we really had a pretty good shot. I think we were 16th or 17th going into the day. We ended up 17th, and we told Landon Vadova, usually swims 4 events for us, and he only had one event, and it was the last one. So he had to really be up and ready to go, and you never know, and kind of after sitting around that long, how that's going to happen. And we said, we really need a 51 out of you to get going, and he did. He swam his best split ever off the blocks, which is absolutely what we needed to do. And a couple other guys were close to their best splits, but not quite. But we still swam our best time as a relay, so that's about all you can ask for, and just missed out by a couple tenths. I think Sock Center nipped us on the other side of the pool. We couldn't see them, but you can't be disappointed. We swam our best time. Those guys are coming all back next year, so they're hungry and motivated to be top 16 next year for sure. So that's so. All in all, it was a good day.
Yeah, I was just thinking this whole experience, how important is that when you got guys that are coming back just to taste that and get that kind of in their system, that, hey, this is quite an experience. We want to do this again.
Yeah, and just how it all runs. Like they have to go check in at a certain place. The warm up is run a certain way. Where we stay, kind of what we do in the off days. Just they kind of get used to that routine instead of just always wondering and what's happening. They kind of know that this is kind of what we do. And I can already see that with Jaden and Matthew from last year. They just kind of know, yep, this is kind of how it goes. Oh yeah, we did this last year. So they just know that, and that experience just puts them at ease, and that's invaluable.
Randy, thanks so much for sharing with us about your great first day at state. We'll look forward to seeing how the guys finish it out today.
Sounds great. Thanks, Craig.
That's Randy Hansen, head coach of the Otter Boys swimming and diving team, as he has 3 individuals competing in 4 events on the final day of the season at the State Class A meet at the Gene K. Freeman Aquatic Center on the campus of the University of Minnesota. We'll take a time out. We're going to come back and wrap up the Otter girls hockey season. Tim Lill is here to talk about their state tournament experience. On the other side of the break, this is our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
In today's business climate, you want an advisor with the knowledge and expertise to help you with all of your goals. You want someone you know and can trust. At American Federal, Ag and Business Banker Chris Marvel will help you find the best solutions. Whether you're looking to remodel, improve, or expand your business, count on Chris Marvel right here in Fergus Falls, helping clients create a successful future. American Federal Bank, member FDIC.
At Woodland Lodge Assisted Living, you can receive the care that you need while also enjoying scenic views, beautiful facility spaces, delicious meals, and a wonderful community. We make it our mission to provide Christ-centered, quality care. To explore what that care would look like for you or your loved ones, call 218-998-7404 or go to lbhomes.org to learn more or to set up a free tour of our facility. LB Homes, caring for you wherever you call home.
We're here with Ryan from Fergus Falls Monument. Now, Ryan, what are some of the benefits from buying a memorial from you instead of somewhere else?
Well, we have a reputation for high-quality memorials. Mike and I are the 3rd generation to work with families to create the perfect memorial. We have made sure every monument comes with an everlasting warranty. Nowhere else you get that kind of warranty. Buying direct will save you money. Generally, when you buy from a third party, there's a markup on that memorial.
Fergus Falls Monument, serving the community for 137 years.
On our Super Sports Saturday, Taco John's feeding us that good breakfast. Great way to start the day. Actually, any meal of the day is good at Taco John's. Tim Lill is here, the head coach of the Otter girls hockey team. They wrapped up their season, a little over a week ago now at the state tournament, back-to-back state tournament appearances. I mean, it's pretty historical, Tim. You get back-to-back. They always say it's hard to get to state, and it's tougher to get back to state. And you did it.
Whoever they are, sure.
They are the experts.
We got back down there. We didn't make a lot of noise, but truthfully, I didn't really expect it with the field. But it's always a good experience. Girls had a lot of fun and something to grow on.
Let's talk about that first-round game against Dodge County. They came at you with 30 shots on goal, and the big thing is they bottled you up. You had a hard time getting to the net and getting shots on goal.
Yeah, and I think it was 0-0 after one. And then their big players stepped up. Their top line was pretty skilled, and we held them off for a while, but then they ended up getting a couple in there, and the girls battled hard, and that team ended up in the state championship game, against Warroad. So they're a quality team.
Yeah, exactly, and you knew you were going to get that going down there, and like you said, scoreless after one. They got that first one about a third of the way into the second period, and then. We say it in the media all the time, hey, the next goal's a big one.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So, and when they got that second one, the way they were playing you knew that was going to be an uphill climb.
Yeah. And the girls did battle back, and we had some grade A chances down there, and we had a pipe. That it looked like it was going in. There was 2 or 3 that I thought really had a fair chance of going in, but weird. They didn't go in like all year, but it was a good battle, and it's so much fun to play down in the XL Center.
Oh, yeah, what a great experience. And especially, you love it for your seniors to get that experience again, but for the young kids to get that experience, it's huge, coming back next year to have that behind them.
Yeah, there's, a pretty good squad of 9th and 10th graders now that have been down there twice. And, I think the idea now is, don't just show up. We got to go down there, and we got something's got to happen. And I think they're hungry for that, and they're ready to get after it this summer and improve and come back. We'll have one senior next year, Abe Eklund, and then, a lot of sophomores and juniors.
Wow. Yeah, that's unusual to just one senior on a team, it seems. Well, that game against Wilmer, and you knew this would be a dogfight with them. It always is with Wilmer. You had 2 one-goal losses to them during the season, and here you were matching up with them again. And the shots were hard to come by the first 2 periods. Then all of a sudden, you guys really started dominating offensively, had so many good opportunities.
Yeah, I was really happy with the way the girls battled back there in the third, and I think we were down 1-0, and they weren't done. So we popped one early, and Wilmer kind of went back on their heels. We've been in that position too, and talking to Eric, the Wilmer coach, after that. They had played confident all year against us, and then it was just a different team, but we couldn't capitalize. We had I think 3 breakaways that we didn't put away, and I don't know if I thought I seen somewhere where the shots were around 13-1 or something in the third, and we were feeling good, and then it went into overtime, and we dominated that, and then they cleaned the ice in the second overtime, and they had one scoring chance, and it went in. It was a good shot from the point. We lost a face-off in our D zone, and it went right out to the point, and good shot and a tip, and Jerkis didn't have a chance on that. And the coaches, we just said, it's been like this all year. I was so happy with the effort and the way they fought right down to the end. It was good. It was we didn't like the result, but I was really happy with the effort.
How good was their goalie that day? I know you had a lot of great chances, and you hit a pipe or two in there, but she made a lot of saves. Were you shooting her right into her, or was she really good?
A little bit of both, but she made some fantastic Eilers. She's a junior, and she really came on this year, and she played us really tough 3 times, and we'll have to see her again next year, but she did a really, really nice job, and she's big, she's tall. It's hard to get pucks past her.
Well, a tough 2-1 double overtime loss there, but great experience, and as you mentioned, just a lot of kids coming back with this experience for next year. What's your challenge to them here in the off season? What did you tell them?
Well, we're gonna we gotta find some goal scorers, and that's on them. We can do all the drills we want, but they have to find. We can talk about. Up in the S&P room, and there's plenty of opportunities, to find your spot. We talk about we got to have someone that says, give me the puck and I will make something happen, instead of, I hope this goes in, and that just comes in with repetitions. And, I suppose that's with any sport, same with basketball, is give me the ball and I'll make the basket. And that's what we're going to really focus on this year. And we had a good meeting, and I think the kids, responded well to that, and they might be up there right now working on that. It's a good group of kids, bringing 14 back or something. It'll be fun. I'm excited for the challenge, and I think they are too. And just another year of mental maturity. Throwing a lot at them, but I think they're ready to respond.
One of those girls that love to get the puck and score the puck, Sophie Roush, is having a tremendous finish for her college career. You mentioned me. You're going down to watch them play, watch Eau Claire play against River Falls today in that O'Brien Cup final. This should be fun. And you got to be proud of not only Sophie, you got a lot of former Otters that are playing. Well, 3 of them are at Eau Claire.
Yeah, that's what makes it nice. I have a chance to catch this game, and Ellie Anderson and Maddie Halter will be down there. And, all those 3 of those kids, all 3 were on, I think, the 19 team that went to state. And see them still playing together, it's a chance to be able to see that. It's going to be kind of fun today.
Well, I think that kind of is something that your kids that you're coaching now can look at too and say, hey, we got good Fergus Falls players playing collegiately. There are opportunities out there if they put the work in.
Yeah. It's a lot of times it's when these kids are young, 9th and 10th grade, and they think it's, Division I or bust, but that's not always the way it works. And you talk to these girls that are playing the Division III, and they've just had a blast. They've had a lot of fun with it. They get to keep playing the sport they want. And I always think it's if you can play collegiately, it goes a long way on your resume too. It shows you time management and responsibility. And I think to play at any level, at the college level, is fantastic.
Well, another great year, Tim. Your program is outstanding. You've done a great job with it, and the Otters, 15, 13, and 1. You loaded up your schedule to get ready for state tournament play, and 8 of your losses were by a single goal. And I've looked back at that and some of the teams you played and how you battled the Gentry Academies and the War Roads, and just really made you better as the year went on.
Yeah, it did. And we talked about that with the girls as, War Road three-peat state championship team again, and we battled them 2-1. You can't tell me that we don't have a couple goals in us, So it's all good learning experiences, We didn't get the ultimate result we wanted to, but I think in the long run we're going to learn from that and hopefully bring that next year. Great job, Coach. Thank you for your being diligent and being with us every week to talk about your girls. Appreciate it. Except for last week, I stiffed it because I was still down there. I forgot about that. But, it's also, I was listening to Peter Johnson filling in for Donahue. And, it kind of ages me, but Pete and then Trevor Larson and Tostin Mann had all those kids in Pee-wees and Bantams. And now they're coming back to the program. And Talia Nelson, who's in charge of our 8U, it's fun to see kids come back and, start coaching the sport they love. And there's a lot of pride in that. So I think that's awesome. When you were coaching those kids, there wasn't the gray in the beard that I'm seeing now. So no, it was because of them. All right. Good one. All right, Tim, thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy the game today. It'll be fun for you. All right, thanks. Tim Will, head coach of the Otter Girls hockey team, joining us on our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company. We'll take a break and come back talk Hillcrest boys basketball. There's Ryan Garvin. Don't go away. He'll be back with us after this timeout.
Thinking about taking that injectable diabetes med to lose weight? Oh, your goal is to lose weight, right? The drug manufacturer's website says that an average 220-pound user loses 12 pounds over 56 weeks. Hi, this is Zola from PlanZDiet.com. Plan Z dieters on average lose 31 pounds in 50 days. Do you really want to wait 56 weeks? I know there are juicy pictures on the internet of people who have lost more, but the Today Show just featured a woman who gained 8 pounds using the drug, so she quit, and then she gained 20 more. So that happens too. The drug's reported side effects are no fun either. Nausea, diarrhea, kidney issues. Even the FDA says that when you stop taking the drug, you're likely to gain the weight back lightning fast. Don't worry, Plan Z has my ZR50 Crave Control Spray. It helps you with the detox, the cravings, the crabbiness, and more. Still thinking about that shot to lose weight? It's up to you, but I'd check out Plan Z Diet first. PlanZDiet.com.
Active lives sometimes lead to injuries. When you're injured, Lake Region Healthcare is here to get you back in action ASAP. Emergency rooms and a walk-in clinic, plus specialists in orthopedics and sports medicine, back and spine care, chiropractic, and podiatry. Lake Region Healthcare has you covered, from your head and shoulders to your knees and toes, in Fergus Falls and 8 other communities, and at your fingertips through MyChart or online at lrhc.org.
We're here with Ryan from Fergus Falls Monument. Now, Ryan, why is shopping local important to you and your brother Mike as small business owners?
Growing up, our father taught us the importance of shopping local and its effect on our local economy, especially shopping for items locally manufactured, because it not only keeps us strong economically, but it keeps skilled individuals in our community. In my industry, there are more and more vendors who sell memorials such as funeral homes, but the only place to buy a memorial handcrafted in Fergus Falls by locals is the Fergus Falls Monument Company.
Serving the community for 137 years.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Motor Company, our Super Sports Saturday, and Ryan Garvin is with us, head coach of the Hillcrest Comets, and the Comets 22 wins on the season for Hillcrest. That's a lot of wins, Ryan.
That is amazing. It's it's hard to even know how to quantify that because it goes by so fast. It feels like so long, but it goes by so fast. And like I told the boys in the huddle last night after we beat Pelican, it's please take at least 24 hours to enjoy this because we don't know who we got until probably Sunday. So look back, enjoy it because you don't get to do that very often, you know.
Right. Well, and you got to be happy the way your guys bounced back after a tough loss to Battle Lake on Tuesday. Your only conference loss. Yep. And then you came back with back-to-backs. Ulen hit it all. Norman County East Ulen hit it all. Beat them by 3, 68-65 on Friday, and then had to bounce back the next night against a good Pelican team and really did a great job on them. 38-20 at halftime. I saw that halftime score come in from Jason, who was covering the game, and I was like, whoa. Because Pelicans had an outstanding year too.
Absolutely, it all came down to our defense. I mean, our defense, really, it's hard to even. I'm going to have to go back and watch it myself because we took away the 3 in many ways, but we also didn't allow. We were really good on the perimeter. We knew that a lot of the stuff that they do goes through Guler. They do a lot of dribble handoff. They want to penetrate the heart of the D, right? They want to get to the paint. And we did such a good job protecting the paint last night in addition to the three-point line. Second half was a little bit different story, but we had built such a cushion. And after the game, talking to the Retzloffs, a lead that you almost makes you feel uncomfortable because how do you sustain that kind of intensity over that kind of time? But our perimeter defense, Schomburgy, Lincoln Nash was so good last night on the perimeter, and then Gabe Swedenberg did a great job. He probably was the one that deserves the most credit on the perimeter, just in terms of taking away Guler. But yeah, our rebounding, our defensive rebounding had some spells where we, of course, weren't perfect, but overall they were 1 and out for a lot of possessions, and when you do that, it gives you lots of opportunities to either get out in transition, or again get a series of stops, and man, that's momentum right there.
65-52, the final. Noah Brumfield hit 25 in that one for you. When you're defending the Comets, okay, what do you do? Who do you take out, or who do you try to control? Luke Christensen has led you many times. Noah's got the ability to do that. And then you've got other guys, complementary guys on the perimeter who are scoring, 8, 9, 10, 12 points a game. Tough defensive assignment. How did the Pelican approach you there? What were they trying to take away from you?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, except that they were super physical in the paint. And I mean, just based on what kind of looks Luke got, I mean, they doubled everything or triple teamed everything in the post, and they were willing to vacate the perimeter and allow us to knock down shots. But they're so fast and quick, and so you don't have as much time as you think you do even on the perimeter. So in a lot of ways, I think their goal was to take away the middle of the floor with Noah and Luke. But we, the way the boys, the interior passing that we had last night Schomburgy, he finds the narrowest space, and his dump offs to Preston, to Ethan last night were, in a lot of ways, I think a beauty. I would say a little bit of unsung hero. I mean, in our book, I think Luke only has 8 points, not even 10. He did not force anything that I can think of. He did not complain about anything last night. He got hammered probably every possession he got caught the ball, and he just made the right plays. And so it was just a fun team win offensively and especially on the defensive end. Because, again, I mean, we're going to come up against a team like, Underwood shoots the ball well, Battle Lake shoots the ball well, takes the ball the whole well. Ada does the same thing, Henning does the same thing. So this was a great tune-up. And my favorite part about the end of this was you get in the huddle, and they were like, we can do better. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, and what a great place to be at the end of the season, right?
Exactly, and we're at the end of the show here. I tell you, I got more questions, but we'll do that another time. But Ryan, good luck in the playoffs. Section 6A is going to be something else. It's going to be fun.
It's a beautiful section to be a part of. You get something every night.
Yep, you got to play your best every night, that's for sure. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan Garvin, head coach of the Hillcrest boys basketball team, joining us from the Minnesota Motor Company, our Super Sports Saturday. One more show next week from 8 to 9 a.m., and thanks to Taco John's for breakfast. Busy day today. Spartan ladies on Channel 977 FM and AM 1020 at 2. Otter girls tonight against Wilmer on 977 FM at 7 o'clock from Roosevelt. And more games on KJ with Hillcrest girls in Underwood at 2:45 with Jason Retzloff. And then tonight, Pelican Rapids at home with John Peter on the call on KJ Country 96.5. Thanks for joining us. For Derek City and back in the studio, Craig Olson saying have a great weekend from the Minnesota Motor Company on News Talk 1250 KBRF.